Yeah. What was it? Spicy? Oh, Takis.
Fuego.
Yeah. Muy fuego. Who's the best gravel rider on the team?
Probably me.
Is this true?
That's fair.
Okay.
Who's the best gravel rider?
Team's it true. Gravel is blowing up. Everybody's doing it. The roadies are doing it. Roadies all the way up to the World Tour level have jumped into gravel races, sometimes seriously, sometimes frivolously, but to my knowledge, there's never been a complete pro team come straight from racing in Europe, bringing a full squad to a major race like Steamboat Gravel, which is exactly what Project Echelon is doing. And here's the boss man himself, team director of Project Echelon, Eric. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to talk about the topic. It's new to us, and it's disruptive, it's fun, it's innovative, it's all the above.
Yeah, so basically I want to ask why. Like for you and for the riders, I want to talk to some of the riders here. We're in Team Condo here in the mountain slopes of Steamboat Springs. You may hear a concert going in the background. What brings you gentlemen to a gravel race?
First and foremost, it's community. We are a veteran nonprofit. Our mission is to educate, equip, and empower veterans through physical activity. And in order to do that, to share that message, we have to be able to connect with people in authentic ways. And the best way to do that is to have a shared experience. And gravel racing is a place where we ride the same course at the same time. We experience it in our own ways, and we get to share those stories at the end of the day. And it creates this really unique opportunity to build community.
Mm-hmm.
And no other form of racing makes it quite so accessible.
Zach, Greg, is gravel racing racing?
It is racing. Of course it's racing. Somebody wants to win and has trained for this, so yeah, it's racing.
Now, am I correct in remembering that Steamboat a couple years ago was the first time you had done a gravel race?
It was the first time I also tried to win,
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
How'd that go?
I didn't win. I actually finished with Cade, and he attacked me through the last feed station. So there were actually
Cade was a
two
teammate.
feed zone gates that day. Mm-hmm. The one that everybody heard about, and then the secret one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not holding a grudge.
What happens if it rains?
Oh, I'm out, dude. I got way too big of tires for rainy conditions. I went for comfort, plush, safety. And yeah, 2 drops of rain, 1 piece of mud, I'm out.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Ethan, what is the preparation that's gone to this? You were just saying you've done at least 30 minutes of detailed studying of the course.
Yes. I asked my teammate who knows a lot about tires what tires I should pick.
And what are you running?
I'll be running the Conti Terra Speeds 40 mil. I even went as far as to make my own number holder for my number plate on the front. Yeah.
Where's this?
It's the sick.
Is this the one that's actually laying horizontal so it's not touching?
Exactly. Yeah.
Not touching.
And it also keeps my cables nice and tidy and aero. Okay. So yeah, that's about my preparation for the race.
Nice workaround. Yeah. All 5 of these other gentlemen are all riding for you tomorrow, or Sunday, whenever this is. I've lost track of time.
Hell yeah, they are. Yeah. Yep.
Do you have radios to yell at them?
We don't. Maybe that can be next year.
Okay.
We can bring radios out. Okay. For sure.
So you just have to let them know ahead of time.
Yeah. We'll be talking. Right. Yeah.
How you doing?
I was in the breakaway.
And then?
And then I wasn't in the breakaway.
Worst thing is that when you have a puncture or mechanical, usually you're like done, and like I don't know. Sometimes guys come back from it and can still be in the race, but like a lot of times it kind of just takes you out. Like you can still finish the day, but you're not gonna
and you're not contesting.
Yeah.
That's something a number of.
But best thing is, it's pretty simple. It's just, it's just you and your bike, and you're taking care of yourself.
So gravel, what do you think?
He's killing it. Killing it.
Look at you go.
Is it comfy?
Oh, yes.
Sam Boardman, the man, the myth, the legend. You have perhaps the most multifaceted view of this strange thing called gravel racing, that you've been racing road all over the world, and you put on a fantastic gravel event, the Last Best Ride. what the heck is a gravel race? Is it a race? Is it a ride? What does gravel mean to you? It's a corny question, but like I'm honestly curious as to like
that's a totally
what
fair
you guys
question.
think about this.
I mean, I think for me personally, gravel is a way such that I don't have to ride the same valley grid roads back home in Montana, wearing and tracking them day in and day out. It offers some variety for me. So it's largely, in my mind, exploration, like means of exploration. And I love it in training. Racing is hard for a lot of the reasons that were outlined by my previous teammates. For example, like mechanicals almost certainly doom you. Whereas in road racing, obviously you have like the Cush caravan behind you to help you back to the peloton. But I do like that there is kind of like a race of truth aspect in gravel, because I think the thing that I often complain about, which ironically is also the thing that I think makes gravel kind of cool, in that it's like a true display of like pure fitness in athletics in a lot of cases. And I mean, the reality is there are guys who can just exercise way harder than I can.
Yeah, Keegan goes out there and Hulk smash.
Yeah, he exercises real good. Great. But I do like that there is like, I appreciate, for example, like someone like Keegan and a lot of these riders, like they're not just going out and trying to race it in a tactical way. He's like going after records. Like I think that's cool. I appreciate that. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity for that in gravel now that it's becoming, I don't know if roadified is the right word, but I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of that going on, especially when drop bars are being introduced into Leadville and it's the winning bike setup. So who knows where that's going to go? I know there's a debate now, is Leadville a gravel ride? And I don't necessarily agree with that, but it may be in the next 2 years. Who knows?
Do you think it would make sense at some point for there to be pro gravel racing and then the rest of the recreational gravel riders as a separate thing? Like we've seen Lifetime Grand Prix already teasing apart the fields, just because one thing that I appreciate about gravel also terrifies us is like 3,000 of us all charging in together is neat and also a bad idea often.
Yeah, I think with a lot of people, what they find cool about gravel, and I certainly think that it was cool, especially in the like couple of gravel events that I didn't like the past. I've only done maybe like 2 or 3, but they were way early on, like 5 or 6 years ago was my first one. It was cool to be able to line up with professional athletes and like side by side with them in some cases, and you can race with them. And there's kind of a democratization of access to like competition in that regard, because anyone can sign up for the event and anyone can compete. And if you are able to like find your way to the race, and let's say you're this unknown quantity of an athlete who just like is waiting for their big break, and you're fit, you're strong, and you're capable, you can go out there and you can get a result, and maybe that puts you on the map. Gravel affords you that. Granted, I think there's still like a lot of discrepancy between like the haves and the have-nots in terms of like factory supported riders and riders who are like just barely able to cobble together sponsorships. But I still do think like there is that opportunity in gravel, and to separate it between like say professional and amateur fields perhaps would compromise that opportunity for riders to be able to showcase themselves on a platform that doesn't require them to, for example, be part of like a UCI team, where in those kinds of road races, you need a full-fledged team with a program and resources to be able to get you to those races and to be able to support you in those races. And I think, there's a give and a take with the self-supported nature of gravel, because obviously, like, some people are more self-supported than others. We see people who have entire pit crews and, they're the aid stations. But in the same vein, you have people who are successful and doing well with a lot less. So it shows that it can be done. It just takes a little more grit. So I don't necessarily believe that like separating a professional and amateur field is necessarily what would, I don't know, grow or say like augment gravel as a discipline. But I mean, it's something that I think could be explored in certain events where safety is a factor, because I agree with you, sending 3,000 people of varying skill levels and physical abilities onto the same courses, I mean, I think it's a recipe for disaster in a lot of cases. And I know that for a lot of amateurs who are doing this as an experience, who want to complete and not compete, they're terrified of the prospect of having to try and negotiate this entire peloton of people. And I think winnowing down the field would probably allow more people to feel comfortable entering into the sport. And I think that could help grow it. So maybe you experiment with different events where safety could be a priority, and that actually would make sense to separate the fields.
Eloquent as always. One more question, and it's personal.
All right.
Last photo I saw of you in Portugal was on Child's Bars.
Yeah, dude.
What width handlebar are you running for Steamboat Gravel?
I'm running very standard size handlebars. I'm not in the like business of running aero super duper narrow bars on gravel because I'm just not skilled enough. Road, there's a predictability to the pavement. Gravel, you got ruts, cattle guards, you've got, I don't know, just dirt. It's a really like not solid grippy road. So I think I need to give myself as much leverage and balance as I can. Whereas road, you are kind of just, I don't know. I realize in a lot of the racing that I've done, especially overseas, that like I got a lot of ground to make up as far as the competition's going. I'm scraping for any gain that I can get. So that's where that's coming from. Whereas gravel, like I said, purely pleasure and, exploratory. So we're out here for comfort.
Heard it here first. Thanks, Sam. Have fun out there.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, you're not gonna get that much out of me.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Why don't you want to talk about gravel? What's it? I mean, just take some breaths and let it all out. What's I mean, the good, the bad, the ugly.